These are the stories of 5 horror films that were actually haunted, starting with the most famous of them all, the Conjuring House of Burrillville, Rhode Island.
What do you think is the most haunted place in the world?
The Conjuring House.
Yeah.
The house in the film had been the home of the infamous Bathsheba Sherman, a real-life witch who was believed to be a fanatical worshiper of Satan. When Sherman gave birth in 1863, her husband caught her sacrificing her baby in front of a fireplace to Satan. Exposed, Bathsheba ran out to a tree nearby a dock, professed her love for Satan, then hung herself, committing suicide. Sherman's spirit is believed to have remained in the house, haunting visitors long after they have left the property.
People levitated and got flung across the room and was speaking in tongues and stuff like that. There was a family called the Heinzens that lived there when we first went a couple times.
They lived in the house just casually?
They lived in the house, and the dad started getting health issues living in the house.
The notoriety of the Conjuring House is largely attributed to the Perron family, who bought and moved into the property in 1970. The Perrons claim that they often experienced strange phenomena, such as objects disappearing, unexplained filth, they smelled rotting flesh, and heard unsettling noises. During the negotiations of the movie deal, Angela Perron recounts how her mother, Caroline Perron, was viciously attacked by a mysterious force.
She was attacked in the cellar of our new home, and a 200-pound solid oak door came flying off that wall and landed on top of her. It dislocated her shoulder. It gave her a concussion. She was an absolute mess.
Several of the cast members from the film reported eerie supernatural experiences as well. Joey King, who plays Christine, was covered in bruises after a couple of weeks of shooting, despite not having performed any stunts.
Mysterious bruises show up on you.
I started having a lot of bruises show up on my body in bizarre places, like on my stomach, on my chest. The makeup ladies thought I was stealing their fake bruises and playing a joke on them. And I was like, why would I do that? They didn't believe me. They tried to take my real bruises off with rubbing alcohol and oil. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm not lying.
Co-star Vera Farmiga, who plays paranormal investigator Lorraine Warren, said that she would frequently wake up between the devil's hour of 3 and 4 a.m. on set and found claw marks on her thigh and laptop.
When I opened my computer, there was just claw marks across the next morning I woke up in my own bed and the same claw marks appeared on my thigh. I'm creepy.
According to producer Rob Cohen, when the Perrons visited the movie set, literally right after the incident with Cindy and the witch, they got a call from the mother who had tripped and fallen and broken her hip and had to get an immediate operation. Although Caroline Perron escaped with her life, the 6 actors who died during the making of the film Atuk were not as lucky. Atuk is a comedy about an Inuit poet who gets discovered and brought to New York City. John Belushi was the first actor to be cast for the part of Atuk. A few months later, after landing the role, Belushi was found dead in his hotel room, having died from a drug overdose of speedball. It's hard to call this a coincidence when 5 other people die later after reading the script, such as Sam Kinison, the second actor cast as Atuk. While the film was put on hold over a lawsuit, Kinison died in a head-on collision with a pickup truck. John Candy was equally unlucky when he died of a heart attack soon after reading the script. Candy's close friend, Michael O'Donoghue, died of a cerebral hemorrhage. Chris Farley read the script and died of a speed overdose, just like John Belushi. But the most chilling death of all was when Farley shared the script with his friend Phil Hartman. 5 months after the death of Farley, Phil Hartman was murdered in cold blood by his wife, Bryn Hartman, in their Los Angeles home. Bryn then locked herself in the bedroom and took her own life. But 6 deaths almost seem like good fortune when compared to the death toll of the film The Exorcist. Jack McGowan was an actor in the movie who died shortly after the film was released in 1973, dying from complications from the flu at the Algonquin Hotel in New York City. And according to Ellen Burstyn, who played Reagan's mother in the film, 9 additional people died during the production, including a crew member's newborn child and a night watchman. Ellen Burstyn herself was severely injured during a stunt.
The making of the film had so many tragedies that occurred during the course of the film. It was obvious that we were attracting certain kinds of energy. It was as though we were playing with fire.
At one point in production, filming was suspended for 6 weeks after a mysterious fire burned the set down. Director William Friedkin recalls the incident.
It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and the night watchman saw smoke coming out the door of the soundstage. Interestingly, it was while we were shooting the exorcism scene.
Mysteriously, the bedroom set survived the blaze. When the film was released in theaters on December 1973, a security guard at Midtown East Cinema said that there were several heart attacks at the venue during the screening of the film. Despite these eerie events, that didn't stop the production of the film The Omen in 1975. 2 months before the film began production, lead actor Gregory Peck lost his son to a tragic suicide. To make things worse, Peck was struck by lightning while on a plane to London. During production, a small plane used for the film mysteriously crashed upon takeoff, taking the lives of everyone on board. On another occasion, an animal trainer who worked on the film to control a herd of baboons was coincidentally killed by a tiger a few days later. But the most tragic event surrounding The Omen was the death of assistant special effects designer Liz Moore. Moore was involved in a car crash wherein she was decapitated by a tire that smashed through the windshield. What made things even creepier is that in the movie, there is a scene where a character is decapitated by a sheet of glass that falls off a truck and smashes through a windshield. Furthermore, the accident happened on Friday the 13th, near a road sign for the town of Omen. If you think it couldn't get any worse, think again. Let me tell you about the gruesome slaughter of Roman Polanski's family, the director of the film, Rosemary's Baby. Roman Polanski was romantically involved with the actress Sharon Tate, who would often hang around the set and become increasingly interested in the occult. A friend quoted her in print as having said, "The devil is beautiful. Most people think he's ugly, but he's not." On August 8, 1969, a year after the film's release, Sharon Tate was brutally murdered by members of the Manson family, which would go on to become one of the most infamous crimes in history.